The Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, has expressed concerns over the legitimacy of the gubernatorial elections in all 28 states due to allegations of vote buying, violence, and intimidation. The executive director of the organization, Idayat Hassan, while briefing journalists in Abuja, stated that reports from its 1,500 observers across the country suggest there were more instances of vote buying during the gubernatorial and state House of Assembly elections than the presidential and National Assembly elections. Hassan called on INEC to take urgent corrective actions in polling units where cases of infractions and non-compliance with the 2022 Electoral Act took place.
There has been an increase in vote buying incidences compared to the February 25th elections. And the top line for this will be that this cost across political parties. Across political parties. So they are not just our traditional parties that we have had reports for of their vote buying. I think in places like Ekiti, we saw like the SDP asking people to write down their names to be paid later. In Oyo and Ogun, it was the normal traditional APC and PDP, but in Anambra, we had ABGA and LP leading the pack really here, with even sharing materials, phones, and other souvenirs towards enticing voters here in that place. In the South, taking Edo as an example, it was more a case of see and buy, show us evidence, show us proof of your vote before actually being paid. It's being paid. While in the Northwest, the issue of wrapper and credit vouchers being given out was quite rife. And in Taraba, people were waiting to be paid so that they can actually vote itself. So the trend is quite revealing and much more expansive and increased in terms of what we have seen in these elections compared to the February 25th elections. With Togri, of course, being one of the very important way people were engaged in this form of violence, the destruction of beavers. There were reports in Okanafu, LG, Akwa Ibom, where thugs attack a polling unit just to scare away voters. In Bayelsa, they actually went to polling unit, carted away the beavers and the election materials itself in Hogbia local government. So it varies at every point in time.
They note in particular that while across the country the elections seem to have been relatively violent-free, there are some troubled spots, troubled areas where our reports from the field indicate that there are serious concerns about electoral violence that may, as the day winds up and as the results are about to be finally collated and announced, may also escalate to more violence. The states, of course, are Kano in the northwest, Rivers in the south-south, Lagos in the southwest, Yobe in the northeast, Anambra in the southeast, Kogi in the north central. And I think we again want to emphasize that because these are local elections, the dynamics on the ground, whether incumbents are being re-elected or whether incumbents are seeking re-election or incumbents are moving away and are trying to prepare the way for their own chosen successors. These are factors that affect the competitiveness and therefore to some extent the level of incidence that is involved because of the stakes that are involved in the politics of transition at the state level.